C-SPAN's StudentCam video competition challenges high school and middle school students to produce a mini-documentary about compelling issues of the day. This year's winners crafted a video message to President Obama. Here's one of the second prize winners.
Shadows fill an empty heart as love is fading for all the things that we are not saying. Can we see beyond the scars and make it to the dawn?
What about now? What about today? What about how poverty affects students? Usually, the word poverty means lack of nutrients, clothing, and reasonable shelter.
However, an actual definition of poverty is the state or condition of having little or no money, goods, or means of support. Condition of being poor, indigenous.
Poverty is a serious issue. We wanted to dig deeper and find out how poverty affects students receiving an education between the ages of 13 and 18 in America.
Well, growing up from 0 to now, I've been in poverty. Just remember a point in time where things got really bad. My mother had left, and it was me and my siblings there, and our refrigerator had stopped working, and the food that we had inside had spoiled, didn't have any water. It was bad, I mean, and it just shook me. Self-esteem was low. Didn't think that, that it would ever end. Just had this dark cloud over me that I didn't think would ever go away. I remember going to school and just seeing other kids, hearing them talk, and just really envying that, the nice clothes, the nice shoes that I didn't have, just really envying that and hoping and wishing that one day I could have it, but not really believing I really could, because for so many years I never did. I guess poverty just kept me from seeing my future.
Poverty can lead to low self-esteem. Children from poverty homes are quick to notice that other children dress better than they do, and they become embarrassed, which can cause them to withdraw in class, which creates a bad learning environment.
Sometimes, if the parent or parents work or are on drugs, they're not able to give the child the attention that he or she needs, and so it causes the child to get attention other ways, like misbehaving in class, getting involved in gangs, or doing other things that is ruining their life.
I think we have to help build support around our children to let them know that poverty is a temporary situation. They have no control over the situation they involve themselves in, and in my case, I have no control over being born into that situation. But we have to give them the inspiration and hope and let them know that they can break that cycle. And with the community support and encouragement, they can break that cycle. That's no excuse. Poverty cannot stop a child from achieving their dream, and it shouldn't. It didn't stop me, so I don't think it will stop anyone.
Endemic poverty, which is the high rate of unwed births, especially among the African American community, but it's high among the white too. The last 30 years, we've incentivized this bad behavior, irresponsible behavior of having. And I'm not talking about having one child. Everyone can make a mistake, and we can get past that. But these women, and blame the men as well, because they just disappear, that have 2 and 3 and 4 children, and then they turn around and say, well, why am I in poverty? And if you can't have a proper family where you're married as is really intended, and have your children where both parents are going to be involved in raising the children, you have a disaster.
A solution to this problem may be such as the programs such as No Child Left Behind. We could do something like that for extracurricular activities. I don't think they're going to call it No Child Left Behind, but something like that where every child is involved in some kind of sport activity.
How do you make sure that young children stay in school, get a high school education, and subsequently for those who want to go to college can afford it? Because by all accounts, those who have a college education will over the course of their life make much more than those with a high school education. How do you do that?
So the first thing is we actually have to start before the K-12 system. There is now a lot of research that tells us how important early education programs are and helping to reduce some of the gaps that begin well before children start school. And children who are in high-quality early education programs show better results later. So a piece of it is that. A piece of it is the much broader discussion about how we improve overall K-12 system. And then it is really a combination of both efforts to broaden access to college, but also developing some better career paths for people who aren't going to college or aren't going right away. Putting in place programs that help connect people to jobs and to the labor market and to real opportunities in their community.
Poverty can be eliminated through higher levels of education, which enables true truths to flow and greater knowledge of what can be achieved in life for the individual, replacing the falsehoods and evil that rise in the soil of poverty and ignorance.
We know the battle ahead will be long, but always remember that no matter what
a dream to have a family and so I want to get out for them and also for my siblings, and to stay focused in school and maintain my grades and do the best I can in that area to go on to college and get a degree and get a good career. So my main focus was to get out. In order to do that, I had to stay focused in school and maintain my grades and do the best I can in that area. So my main focus was to get out and not to settle like my mom or my parents did.
Some solutions we found state that reducing poverty requires a focus both on what government needs to do and on what individuals need to do. Although there are many ways to reduce poverty in the U.S., we believe that there are 3 priorities: getting a good education, not having children before you marry, and parents working full-time. One of the most effective policies that could be put in place to ensure that everyone gets a good education would be to provide very high-quality education programs to all children from low-income families. Too many teens and young adults are having children before they are married and before they are ready to be good parents.
You've just seen a winning entry from C-SPAN's StudentCam video competition. To view more winning entries and to see the complete list of winners, visit studentcam.org.